Hello and welcome to another one, A Demonics News. This time is on Uncharted 4 to delay. The Last of Us 2, Last of Us 2 movie, blah 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 blah. Nestle Naughty Dog related stuff and its upcoming game and movie? Question mark. So Nestle, the first thing up there is just Nestle. This is me playing the Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta. This is totally me not using This is totally not me recording over a YouTube video of me playing this game, because I totally didn't lose the raw file of this, because, you know, stuff happens. Or, if you're Star Wars fans, Sith happens. Wow, bad man. Anyway, this is Nestle after the patch. I believe this is like the last day of the last day that the beta was online, which once again was spectacular. And if you Nestle want to see my thoughts on that, I did make a review of the Uncharted 4 beta, which will be either in a card or link below or something like that. Now, moving on, Uncharted 4. Once again, totally have to play this game. Definitely going to be playing that at release. One of the things, in case you haven't heard, that they had dialogue options, so I'm curious to see how that's going to work and how that's going to play into the game, and if that's going to enable multiple endings or something like that. Really curious to see what they do with that and how that necessarily changes the story and everything like that. Once again, I'm also hyped for playing that game online. Hopefully there's Chloe in there. Outside that, the only other news for Uncharted 4 was it was delayed to April 27th, 2016. Unfortunately, that's sad news that we have to wait a little bit longer to play the game, but at the same time, it's good news because it's going to be a better polished game, and it's Naughty Dog. So one of the things I like about Naughty Dog, and something I try to tell people, is that Naughty Dog necessarily does it because they want to play the games that they want to play the games. One of the things I like about them is that they don't necessarily do it for the money. So if they need to delay a game, they'll delay a game. The only thing that Naughty Dog does wrong, or the only bad side about Naughty Dog, is they don't necessarily make the games you want to make. Like, people want them to make a Jak and Daxter and Crash and blah 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 blah. And that outside that's all they do that's wrong, is not make those games that you want. They necessarily don't do BS microtransactions. They don't do bullshit like pay to win. They don't do bullshit of like the game's rush. They don't do BS things where they put it like, they don't make a game that's broken and I'm like, oh, we'll patch it later. They'll they don't do any BS where it's like, hey, I want to play as Mega Man, but instead of that, we're gonna put the Zero character in there and give them a Mega Man skin. They don't necessarily do anything like that where they have to like backlash, where they necessarily get all this backlash and or, hey, we don't like you, Naughty Dog. It's usually just a, hey, sorry, we can't make Crash. We don't really own the rights. Hey, we whatever. That's one thing I like about Naughty Dog, is that they don't really do anything wrong except not make the games you want. There's nothing wrong with their games. They're not broken. You're able to play it. Everything's working. That's pretty much why I like them. So I totally believe them when they say, hey, we have to delay Uncharted 4 for, unfortunately, of course, they're not going to give us a reason like, hey, Uncharted 4 is delayed because there was a glitch or bug, blah, 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 blah. Just, hey, we need to delay it to polish the game more. Totally fine with that. We're going to get a better experience when we finally play it on April 27th. I'm sorry, April 27th, 2016. Totally happy for that. Another thing that I did like what they did is, as we all know, they're making Last of Us 2. Actually, the main reason why they didn't just start, or at least confirm it right after the start, is they do want to make, they do want to make a good story for The Last of Us 2. They want to make sure they have a good story to go ahead and continue on and go with The Last of Us 1. And once again, they're not in it for the money, where they're just gonna be like, hey, Last of Us 1 made a lot of money. We're just gonna go ahead and make a Last of Us 2, half-ass it, and make even more money because they love The Last of Us, which something a bunch of other freaking companies tend to do. Like, hey, they really like this game, let's make one every year, and then make mobile games, and then make spin-offs, and then not indie, but PSN games, because they totally love it. And that's whatever. Assassin's Creed. Excuse me. But what they did is that they're moving they stopped necessarily the halt of The Last of Us 2 to finish Uncharted 4, which makes sense, which is a good idea, instead of splitting the projects and doing and causing more room to have errors or anything like that. They're just gonna put full focus on Uncharted 4, which once again I do appreciate it and do think it's a good decision. If anything, maybe we'll get this game sooner than April 27th, which I highly doubt, but you never know. Of course, once again, The Last of Us 2, already really talked about it. Can't wait to see that. Don't know what they're doing. Same thing with The Last of Us movie, which hasn't been really confirmed, nor is The Last of Us 2. It's kind of like we're working on it. It's an idea. It could happen. But they never really confirmed, like, hey, yo, this is happening. It will become real on this date, or you know, whatever, or in this year. But with both The Last of Us 2 and The Last of Us movie, I'm not totally sure what direction they're going to. If they're going to have like The Last of Us movie help us transition into The Last of Us 2. I don't know if they're going to do, or either one, if they're going to have either a prequel or like before Joel and Ellie, after Joel and Ellie, if it's like Ellie all grown up, if they're necessarily going to do, like for the movie, I would say if they did what they did with the damn it, the one with Clementine, the Walking Dead game, sorry, the Walking Dead game, where the 400 days where they kind of told stories of the other characters and gave more story on them, but that ended up being in in the Walking Dead 2, season 2 Walking Dead 2, sorry, kind of getting out of here with all these games, but where they introduced, you know, characters and give them more story, and then they end up being in the second game as something to give us, as something for us to play before the actual game came out, the next game came out, which, that would probably be, as for a movie, I guess it would depend on how they told the story. If somehow all these people were somehow linked together or something like that, and then they had to just part ways, or you know, something like that. I'm not entirely sure how they would play that with the multiple stories, but you know, it's Naughty Dog, so I trust they're gonna do for the best story that they could possibly can. But outside that, that's pretty much all I necessarily have for pretty much on Naughty Dog. They currently, unfortunately, Uncharted 4 is gonna be the last game they have for the PlayStation 4, so I'm not totally sure if they're going to do something with VR, make mobile games for the Vita, PSN, some type of PSN game, if they're going to do some type of mobile or anything like that. Not entirely sure what they're doing. Outside Uncharted 4, The Last of Us, and The Last of Us movie, I'm not sure if they're going to do, we have no really idea. And unfortunately, it's like yes and no. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, yes, that's cool. Because, you know, when they keep it a secret in case, you know, it doesn't happen and we don't have, you know, like, hey, what happened to this game you said we're gonna do? Well, we were going to do it, but then stuff happens and now we can't do it. By the way, go see the Star Wars movie. So, but at the same time, it's bad because it's like, damn, we have nothing really to look forward to from Naughty Dog. And, you know, that could be a little bit depressing. But once again, I'm really curious to see what they do, what they're moving on to, what's nextly what's going to be happening with them. Totally looking forward to pretty much anything, or even just an update from them. I do really love Naughty Dog as a company. I think they do a really good job with making sure their customers are happy, you know, to be honest. Like, outside not making the games you want them to make, they pretty much do a good job with everything else. But outside that, video's almost over for anyway, but you can go ahead and oh yeah, video's pretty much over. Once again, can't wait to play Uncharted. All the links to my my social links will be down below in case you want to go ahead and see, click on them, follow. You know, you can go ahead and look, like, comment, and subscribe. Not lick. Don't be licking anything unless you're licking that subscribe button or that thumbs up button. Outside that, I do want to thank you for watching. I hope you guys are excited. You know, leave a comment below. Outside that, until I think of a proper outro, I got really nothing. Bye.